Do what?
It, oh, it disappeared now.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna get started. My mind's totally gone blank. Just give me a second. Um, so we wanted to talk about like the first of the month, um, like setting goals and just kind of like taking stuff back to the basics and just like different tips and stuff for like your business. So the first of the month. Oh wait, I had an announcement I wanted to share with you guys, and I forgot. Okay, we'll just go back to that. It's fine. So the first of the month. First of the month, everybody starts over, brand new, fresh. Katie starts at zero, M starts at zero, everybody starts at zero. So I love that because you can like just throw whatever you did in the past like behind you. Don't even worry about it. What you did in September doesn't matter. What you did in August doesn't matter. What you did in July doesn't matter. It all doesn't matter. Start over, fresh, brand new, day one, um, and just run, go. What it doesn't matter what you've done in the past 6 months, whether you've done nothing, whether you've done 4,000 in sales, it just doesn't matter. You just need to go. We kind of wanted to focus a little bit um, on keeping it simple, bring it to the basics. Dustin talked about the VIP 800, duplicating the VIP 800, and that's how our whole business model is basically run off of. So if you, find four people that are interested, you know, you teach those people how to get their VIP 800. They teach their people, because VIP 1600 is just doubling that. So all you need to concentrate on learning and what I suggest doing is if you're not very familiar with the compensation plan, learn what VIP 800 is because nothing's going to suck more when you get somebody who is interested and then you're fumbling over your words because you don't understand the VIP 800 yourself. So if you have questions about it, ask me or Christine. There are several videos in the Hustle and Thrive Tribe that you can where they talk about the VIP 800 and they break it down. It's super simple, two customers, two promoters that add up to 800 in volume. Um, and that's where our team challenge came into play with the bring us four people to put into opportunity Zooms, three-way calls, phone calls, FaceTimes, whatever it is. Bring us those people so you guys can hear and watch how we speak to our potentials. Um, because this is the time where I have to sit back and think, what am I doing wrong? Why haven't ranking isn't the most important thing in the world, but why haven't I ranked? Why don't I have more customers? Why don't I have more promoters? This is something me and Christine sit down and think about ourselves. If something's got to change. So if you are talking to a lot of potentials, but you're not signing any customers, you're not signing any promoters, something is going awry in the conversation and sealing the deal. So we need to figure out how we can tweak that, but we can't do that if you guys don't put us in three-way chats. If you guys don't say, hey, this is my conversation I'm having. How should I respond to this? We can't help you if you guys aren't in our inboxes. And it's not to be like mean or hateful, but we want to help you guys as much as we can. And a lot of times we see like we won't hear anything all month long. And then at the end of the month, it's like, I'm struggling. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. Um, you know, I I say this because I am in my uplines inbox daily. I message her daily. How can I do better at this? I'm stumped on this conversation. How can I turn this conversation around? What books are you reading? What podcasts are you listening to? I thought about doing this challenge for my team. What do you think about this? I'm in constant contact with my enroller, and that helps you. As stupid as it may sound, that does help with your self development, because when you aren't staying plugged in, when you aren't continuously um, in, you know, cahoots with like your enroller or sideline sisters, or you're not plugged into the Zooms or the chats or whatever, you kind of like lose that oomph almost. I'm the type of person where I have to be involved. Like I need to know, I need feedback. I need that positive reinforcement. I need those affirmations. I need that. For me, that's what works. So um I feel like a lot of us struggle with the mindset, and being plugged in will help that mindset. Talking to us daily will help that mindset, because if you're getting down, and say you send a conversation to me or Christine, and we're like, okay, you were really, really good on these points. Let's try to tweak this. Like, you're not going to get so down on yourself, because it's not like you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck. Which is what we tell ourselves. Like, you can ask Christine, I'm constantly like, I don't think my words are really good. People message me and they're like, how should I respond to this? And I'm like, I suck at this, but this is what I would say. Like, you're your own worst critic. So if you have somebody, that accountability partner, your upline, me, Christine, like whoever you're comfortable with reaching out to, say, hey, like, this is how I'm having my conversations. How should I tweak this? Or, what are my skills? What are my strengths? And then you can figure out, you get that positive feedback, and it's a lot better than just a whole bunch of different people telling you no, and you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. You're going to get defeated, you're going to feel like crap, and you're going to want to give up, because you're just like, I'm not getting any positive anything out of this. I get people that tell me no all the time, but I'm constantly chit chatting with Christine about different ideas about how I want to change my conversations, or what I want to go live about, or what I want to talk about, or different pictures I want to take, or we talk about our dreams, things we want to accomplish, and that keeps our spirits up. I talk to Amy constantly about how to motivate our team, or what different challenges I can do, or how can I talk to somebody better. And it's about uplifting each other, but also being able to give like constructive criticism, and being able to take it. And I want you guys to succeed. But we don't know if you guys are struggling, or what you're struggling with. Instead of coming and being like, hey, I'm stuck, that's really bland. And a lot of times I'm like, I don't know where to go with this. So like, let us know, what are you stuck on? Is it your mindset? Is it your conversations? Is it interactions? Is it posting? Is it posting in your stories? Is it self-development? Is it reading a book? Like, what are you stuck with? Um, every single last one of you guys are so gifted in different ways, and have really good skills on different things. Um, and we just need to learn like what those are, and work together to come up with some sort of game plan for you. Because what I do may not work for everybody. What Christine does may not work for everybody. And me and Christine are complete opposites as far as like how we work our business, how we talk to people, the way we post, what we post in our stories. But we can still connect with each other and talk different things out. Like, you don't have to find somebody that's going to be exactly like you. But if you find somebody that you're comfortable with talking about those things, you could really like figure out what does work for you, because we're complete polar opposites. Like, we don't run our business the same at all, but we can throw ideas off of each other. And it's a very like positive. um
You muted yourself.
can you hear me now? Okay, I think I was trying to mute Lacey and then I muted myself. Okay, we're good. Um, But it's just about keeping your spirits up, because like I watched a video today where Dustin was talking about, a lot of people will work a little hard at the beginning of the month and in the middle of the month, and the end of the month people grind and they're just going crazy with it. But if you worked your business like that all freaking month, you would be shocked as to how different things would go for you. If you worked your business consistently, providing value every single day, regardless of what day of the month it was, when it comes to the, end of the month, you don't have to grind like that because you've been grinding all month. Today is just as important as the 15th, and the 15th is just as important as the 30th. That's where the consistency comes into play. We're doing this 90-day challenge with Lindsay and the Hustle and Thrive Tribe. I've picked 3 things that I'm doing. It's going live, posting polls, because I'm really bad at posting polls, and adding to my network every single day. These are the 3 things that I have to do regardless. And yours can be different, but it's about having that consistency and building those habits, because without that, you won't go anywhere. You can't post really good for a week and then drop off. You can't add to your network for 2 days and then drop off for 2 weeks. That it'll never work. You're just constantly going to be going in this circle of doing good for a couple of days and falling off, and then doing good for a couple of days and then falling off. It's just, you're going to be like, why am I not getting anywhere? That's why you're not getting anywhere, because you're not being consistent. You have to be consistent for weeks, for months. We've been building our business. For me, it's almost been 2 years. Christine's been in it longer than I have. It takes work. It takes time. You have to, add people, new people, because you don't want to be talking to the same people all the time. 10% is it? 10% is of your friends is the only people that see your newsfeed. That's it. 10%. I have like 2,000 friends. Only 10% are seeing it. So what's that, Christine? You're the math whiz. 10% of 2,000 is like what, 20?
Like 200.
200. Okay. That's not a lot of people. And so consistency is so important. Your mindset doesn't work unless you're consistent with it. Signing customers doesn't work if you're not consistent about taking your products every day. If you're not consistent about talking about the products. If you don't talk about what we have as a business, nobody's going to sign up as a promoter, because they don't even know that you have something like that available. And that's where like your branding comes in. There's a lot of people on this team that I know personal things about, and not like super deep personal things. But if I didn't know you or have a conversation with you, I would have no idea who you are at all by what you put on your Facebook page. When you go to my Facebook page, you know that I'm a mom of boys. You know that I'm obsessed with flamingos. You know that I'm obsessed with Paris stuff. Like, my kids drive me nuts. I hate them most of the time. Just kidding. I love them, but they drive me crazy. Like, people know that. People know that I'm not scared to go live. I will go live folding laundry. Like, I legit don't care. But people know this about me. They know that Brian irritates the piss out of me. But people know this. So, like, when we go to your page and it's like, oh my gosh, like, she should be talking about this, and she should be talking about this and sharing this about her story. She would connect with so many different people. When we don't see that, it's like, this is why you're not connecting with people, because you're sharing what network marketing is. You're sharing what the products are. That's not going to get people being able to relate to you. It's just not. And it takes every day. Like I've said before, you can't share your story once a month and expect for somebody to like comment on it or relate to it. I share my story at least 3 or 4 times a month. I try to go live at least once a week, but I try to go live and do like a special scheduled live about my story at least once a month. and then you share your story in different ways through posts or your store share your story in your stories. And you got to be creative and do different things. Watching trainings, Hustle and Thrive Tribe isn't the only training avenue that you guys have. You have ours. But there's YouTube, you guys. That's where me and Christine do 99.9% of our training. We look up shit on YouTube, and some of them are crap. Some of them I have no interest in. Some of them have really good tips that you can pull from. Attraction marketing, when we wanted to do, and I've like slacked on my podcast, and so is Christine, but when we wanted to do a podcast, we YouTubed how to start a podcast. Like, if you want to do something or you're struggling with something, go to YouTube and search it. Like, you don't have to wait on us to do a training or Hustle and Thrive Tribe to do a training. Like, YouTube is an endless supply of trainings at the touch of your finger. I'm trying to think of what else we were talking about. Do you want to hit on anything, Christine, while I'm thinking?
I want to hit a little bit on branding, just because, like, I haven't really been very vocal about it here lately, but for the last, I would say, month, maybe 2 months, I haven't been focusing on enrolling. I haven't been focusing on customers or promoters. I've been strictly focusing on branding myself. And that's why, like, I've been okay with where I'm at. Like, I'll be transparent with you guys. Up until my boss just randomly messaged me and was like, "Hey, I'm ready to order." Before that, it's probably been the better part of like 2 or 3 months since I've enrolled a customer. And while I feel like a lot of you are letting that defeat you, I have used that as time to brand myself. And I was just talking to Felicia about this today. Normally, or not normally, when Lindsay did that 90-day challenge, my original challenge for myself was to go live for 90 days in a row. But I got realistic with myself after the first couple days. And I just, lives aren't where it's at for me. But lives are where it's at for Felicia. And that's where, like, you just kind of have to hone in on where your strengths. I didn't write anything down, so if I'm like scatterbrained, my bad. But like, you need to hone in on your strengths and find the people that are like you. So if any of you follow Christina Brill, she's literally like an Instagram goddess. But she talks about finding your avatar. And so, like, so what your avatar is you imagine this one person that would be your rock star, or this one person that would order the product every month, depending on whether you're going for customers or promoters. You name them if you want to go to that extent, and give them a real personality. What is that avatar? Is that avatar a tired mom? Is that avatar an overworked college student? Like, what is your avatar? What is the audience that you want to relate to? Because that's the only way that you're going to get any sort of people with substance into your network, is if you are looking for a specific person. I can't tell you how many people that I've noticed within the last couple weeks, because I've been dabbling with the algorithm a little bit. I can't tell you how many people within the last couple weeks I've gone to their page and I'm like, why are you even in my network? Like, I can't relate to you on a single bit of anything. And I've gotten really picky with friend requests that I accept. If I go to your page and within the first like couple scrolls, I can't find anything that I can relate to you on. And I'll even relate to if they share a meme. Like, to me, that's relatable. If they share a meme that I can relate to, then maybe they're going to be posting stuff that I can relate to. So just find something that you can relate to and work it that way. When it comes to like people that you're bringing into your network or accepting friend requests. But I so I kind of got off track of the 90-day challenge. But so I was honest with myself and I was like, lives is not where it's at for me. When I think of going live, I literally spend my entire day stressing, what am I going to go live about tonight? What am I going to go live about tonight? And then it becomes like a burden. And I didn't want the challenge to be like that. So I found my niche a couple days ago, actually, when I was in Kentucky. And I'm awesome at storytelling with my hand, with my mouth. Like my brain, I was telling Felicia, my brain and my mouth are not friends. Like it just doesn't work. Like there's times where I'm really harsh with you guys and I don't mean to be, but it's just like the only thing that I can think of. So like when I go live, there's things that I say and I don't mean them in that way, and like that could possibly scare someone away just because I said something wrong. But my brain and my hands are the best of friends. Like I actually have a poetry book. So like words are my things if I'm writing them down. So I have challenged myself to make not necessarily lengthy posts every day, but posts to where I let people in a little more than I did the day before. So like a lot of people now will, if they see me in the car, like if I'm on my stories or whatever and I'm in the car, they'll message me and be like, are you pressing the imaginary brake pedal? Like, is Amanda driving okay? And it's the small things like that that can open up so many doors. Like for me, flamingos ain't shit, but that is Felicia's market. That is the people that run across flamingo pictures, send them to her all day. Crocheting, yarn is not my friend either. Like I end up with like 3 balls of yarn after like touching it, like, and it's just in 3 knots. Like it's just bad. But that's Felicia's thing, and people will send her crocheting things all the time, and it's the small things that you don't really feel people would care about that people care about, especially when it comes to a business, because a lot of people are aware of MLMs today. A lot of people are just worried about the dollar signs, and a lot of, I don't know what you would call them, like normal people, like people that aren't in MLMs, like they can see right through that. Whereas if they come to my page, they're going to be like, oh my goodness, she loves her girlfriend. She is just as crazy as I am. Like, because there's little things about me where people are just like, I'm pretty sure I shocked Felicia this weekend where she was just like, Christy, calm down. But it's the small things like that that you don't think to put on your social media. But once you do, you have this influx of people that are like, hey, me fucking too. Like, me too. I had my cousin, and she's like, we don't talk all the time. We probably talk like 3 times a year. And the other day, she reached out to me and she was like, hey, I just want to let you know that you're super inspiring. Like, I love coming to your page and seeing every ounce of positivity that you pour out there. Me and this girl normally only talk about my aunt and her baby. That's it. And that's normally only at family get-togethers. Very rarely has she ever reached out to me on social media. And that was kind of like the clicking moment for me. This girl has known me her entire life. She knows a lot about me, but she still felt compelled to reach out to me via social media because I put my life out there. And a lot of people can relate, not necessarily relate to the fact that you're blasting it on Facebook, but a lot of people can respect the fact that you're doing that. And when you do that, you just create a sense of security with that person. They may know 4 or 5 other Thrive girls on their social media, and they may not relate to anything. Or maybe those Thrive girls are posting graphics person just being spammy. And then they see you and they're like, oh, well, I've been interested in this and it doesn't seem like she's really salesy. Like she's actually sharing her life. And oh, look, like let's just say Lacey, for instance. Oh, look, she's got a stepdaughter and a baby. So do I. Like if that's your avatar, she will find you and she will be like, I've been interested in this Thrive thing, but I relate more to Lacey. So I'm going to go with Lacey. We can talk about kids and then we can talk about Thrive. And I don't want you guys to think either that when you guys are going into people's messengers that it just strictly has to be about business, but to an extent it does. I want you guys to realize that when you are going in and having conversations, the days are gone of going in there and being like, oh, I love your dress, or hey, your kids are cute. Like that's dead. You know, you have to go into someone's inbox with something of substance. I have found it a lot easier to create that relationship and that rapport on their posts. And I'll go back and forth on their posts for maybe like a week before I even think about getting into their inbox. I will make sure that they see me. And then I will have a conversation with them. Or say you're having like a comment thread. At some point, like you don't want 80 comments on one post and you're just talking to one person. So like take it to the inboxes. You know, that I have been super picky with my messenger lately. And like I said, not to say that it's all about business, but if you can't see someone being a potential and you just see them being a friend, I usually don't have them in my inbox. I usually just keep the friendship strictly to posts. Only because my messenger can get a little wild sometimes, and I'm not the patient person to sit there and scroll through to try and find someone. So I'm very picky with who's in my messenger. So that means you can't message people and be like, hey, your dress is cute, hey, your kid's cute, whatever the case. Leave that to the post. One thing I do want to touch on real quick is Tuesday. I don't know if this is the announcement you wanted to make.
Yeah, but I just remembered it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Tuesdays, starting tomorrow, we will be doing opportunity events every single Tuesday, just like Katie and Em and all of them do. We will be doing opportunity events for you guys. I don't know about Felicia, but my goal with it is not only to get more comfortable talking about it, but one day I want you guys to be able to take over. One day I want you guys to be able to do your own opportunity event. And I know sometimes we can kind of get this high going when we see Katie and Em and like all the people that have already made it. We get this like euphoric feeling when we see them talk. It's almost like fangirling, you know? So you go into the opportunities and you're so excited to see them talking about it. But the only reason that they're doing it is because it's benefiting them. And we want you to do the same thing. Like I said, my goal is for one day you to take over my position in an opportunity event or create your own opportunity events.
Yeah, let me touch on that real quick, because what I would like to start doing is, for those of you who are interested, because obviously I'm not going to force you to do it, but I would like you guys to come and be like, hey, can I do the opportunity event with you? And like, either Christine will do it with you or I will do it with you, either one. But I would like to see all of you guys like get involved and get more comfortable. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Me and Christine, like, we've watched opportunity events over and over just so we make sure that like we do an okay job. But it's really about just being excited, sharing why you love this company, and just going, you know, speaking from your heart. But I would love to see each and every single one of you guys get to a point where like you come and do that opportunity event with us. You know, I'd like for you guys to kind of step out of your comfort zone a little bit and do something that scares you. And as little as that may seem, to do a live opportunity event, that would be a huge stepping stone for somebody who is scared to go live or is scared to talk about the products, because stuff doesn't change until you start getting uncomfortable. So that is like my goal. I would love to see everybody on our team at least do it once, you know, at least try it. That's it.
And then I also wanted to touch a little bit about what Felicia said about getting us into like three-way chats and whatnot. So Katie, when she started, she had Dustin do opportunity Zoom after opportunity Zoom after opportunity Zoom. Where is she? Top of the company. Ariel had Katie three-way after three-way after three-way after three-way after three-way. Where is she? Top of the company. So like I really just wanted to like pinpoint that for you guys, because I'll be honest, like I am not the best at explaining things all of the time. But through talking to Felicia, because Felicia is like my accountability buddy, through talking to her, I can talk about the products all day long. I can talk about the business all day long. And even though I haven't put Felicia in three-way chats necessarily, like I'm talking to her every day. I'm picking her brain every single day. And every single day I'm realizing a little more and more and more. And if you think about it, like that had to have been what Katie was doing with Dustin. She had to have been picking his brain like, hey, like what should I be doing? Ariel had to have been picking Katie's brain like, hey, what should I be doing? They were probably annoying the shit out of their enrollers. But where did that get them? To the top. Now, y'all, as much as I love you, and if I ever get annoyed, I will never, ever, 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 ever tell you not to be in my inbox. I may take a minute to reply if I'm busy, but like I will always, always, always have my inbox open to you guys. And I know Felicia feels the same way. I want you guys to go to the top. I don't want to sit here and see you guys struggle. And then when Felicia said, you know, that you need to come to us with a little more specific things instead of I'm just struggling, we don't say that to be mean. We say that because we really want to know what you guys want to see on these trainings. Because if you're struggling with something, 9 times out of 10, there's someone else on the team that's struggling with the same thing. But if you guys are both keeping your mouths closed, your struggle is never going to get solved. You're always going to be having that feeling of struggle because you didn't let someone know. And it's almost like what we're taught in elementary school. You know, if you see something, say something. Like, I don't want you guys to feel like we're leaving you to the wolves, and I don't want you to feel like you're struggling forever when there's something that can be done about it. And the only thing that I can think that can be done about it is if you guys open up to us a little bit. Now, we both know all of your stories. You know, we know a lot about you guys in general, but when it comes to the business, you guys are pretty quiet. And like I said, I don't want to come off as a bitch because my mouth and my brain aren't friends. But, you know, I want to see you guys in our inboxes telling us what you're specifically struggling with. Because if you come to me and say, hey, I'm struggling, I'll be honest, I'm going to tell you to do some self-development and figure it out. When the underlying issue really could be that, you know, you're struggling with posting or you're struggling with your stories, and if I tell you to do self-development, that's not going to help your posting. That's not going to help your stories. I mean, it's going to help your brain for sure, but, you know, I don't want to sit here and give you guys false advice if that's not what the problem really is. That's all I got.
Yeah. So, so the opportunity event is tomorrow. So if you have potentials, you can send them to that. But I really want you guys this month. Okay. So I was telling Christine, there is buzz that they're going to reset the bonuses. And that's why when Dustin did his Zoom last week, he was like, now is the time to reset. And I just want to, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but I just want to reiterate Like, now is the time to reset. If you've been down, if you've been struggling, if you've been, discouraged or felt defeated or whatever, now is the time to pick your butt up and do the damn thing. Because I can tell you from experience, earning that bonus, it will be a game changer for you. It's an amazing feeling to accomplish something like that. And now is the time to do it. Me and Christine were talking. We kind of think they're going to do it in November so that you can get a bonus for Christmas. So like this month, I want you guys concentrating on talking to people and bringing them to us. Obviously you want to bring us people who have shown interest, and just bring them to us. We've been talking about this stuff, doing this. Me, it's almost been 10 months. I know it's been a little bit longer for Christine, but when it comes to talking about the products, I can tell you everybody that I've been in a 3-way chat with has signed. Kat put me in a 3-way chat with Yanni signed. Yanni put me in a 3-way chat with Caitlin signed. It's such a like good thing to do when you're struggling with that. And I was also talking about, like, if you want to get better with your conversation, message me or Christine and say, like, hey, I want help on conversations. We can do like mock conversations. Like, I can throw some objections at you and see how you respond to it and be like, okay, this part was good, but why don't we change the wording on this part? It's all a learning process. I mean, this is how we got good at what we do, is because we practice, we put ourselves out there, we had conversations in different ways, we use different wording, we're constantly changing stuff up all the time. We've been so focused on let's get to 4K, let's get to 12K, let's get that auto bonus, let's get these giveaways, that like we lost sight of we just needed to learn how to duplicate VIP 800. And so we're changing stuff up this month. It's all about like being able to shift and do different things and learn what works, what best for you. Because for me, voice messaging my potentials is huge. Like, put me in a 3-way chat and I will voice message them like 3 or 4 messages, and that'll be it. Christine may just type better. You got to find what works for you, because it's not going to be the same for everybody. Like Lindsay, she doesn't voice message at all, ever. But Katie swears by voice messaging. So you just have to find what works for you and be able to critique that and fix that the way that, it works for you. I wanted to touch on the conversations just a little bit, because a lot of you guys, struggle with the interaction with the conversations. Like she was saying, commenting on somebody's post, oh my gosh, your little boy is so cute. That's interacting, but people usually respond to more. Like there was this girl, she had a picture of her son, and I was like, and she said something about like treasure in the time or whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh, I miss when my boys were babies. Like they grow up so fast. Like, hold on to these moments, because my baby will be 15 next month. And that started this whole big conversation, because when somebody says, oh, he's so cute, what do they say? Thank you. Conversation's dead. It gets you nowhere. And it's the same thing with going in the inbox. You can't go in the inbox and be like, hey, you're pretty, or I like your shoes. Like, people are going to say, thank you. Okay. Like today, I was going back and forth with this girl in my mom of teenage group. And she was talking about how she was getting like weird friend requests from like nasty people or whatever. And she's like, so I'm having to be really picky. So I sent her a friend request because we weren't friends yet. And she waved at me in the messenger. And I said, hey, I promise I'm not a creep. And she started laughing. So then we started cutting up. We were talking about our kids. We were talking about our spouses. We were talking about our hobbies. Like that, you need to be intentional and be real with it. Like, if you're funny and you feel like you can joke with somebody like that, because not everybody could I go in their inbox and be like, hey, I'm not a creep. They'd be like, block, because it would come off weird. But because we had already had like that rapport with each other where we were joking about it and talking about it, I was able to be like, hey, I'm not a creep. So just be more intentional with it. You're going to have to get more creative than, oh, your kid's cute, or hey, I like your hair, because the response you're going to get is thank you. And that conversation is going to be dead. And also when you're doing these conversations and you're building relationships with people, you guys need to remember that, like, because if you're talking to somebody for 2 weeks and you don't get past like your kids or dogs, you don't want to view them as a sale, but at the end of the day, you really need to be finding out like what's going on with them, you know, their health, what's their lifestyle like, what are they struggling with, what do they enjoy doing? Because when it comes down to it, if somebody's like talking about, gosh, like I'm so sleepy, like my kids keep me up all the time, like you need to figure out a way to get in there and be like, oh my gosh, I can relate to you so much. I like couldn't get no sleep. I have 4 kids, like they drive me bonkers. You know, let me tell you about what I've been doing. You have to find ways to slide it in there, because if you just constantly like, how's your dog doing today? How's your kids doing today? Oh, they're doing great. Okay, talk to you tomorrow. Like, it's just, you're not going to get anywhere with that. Okay, Lacey, I love you to pieces. So you got to change your mindset. You got to quit saying I can't, I can't, I can't, I can't, I can't, I can't, because that's what you're feeding your brain. And I understand it's hard not to have Thrive. I haven't had my capsules in like a week. Okay. Christine hasn't had her capsules and I have 1 shake left. Like the struggle is real. But when you get to that point, nobody on my timeline even has a clue that I'm out. But you have to get creative and figure out a way that you can still be positive. Like there's times where I go on there and talk about how much it sucks not to have Thrive, how much you miss Thrive because you aren't energetic, you aren't sleeping good, or whatever it's done for you. Like talk about that and talk about how you can't wait to get back on it because you miss how you felt. You know, you miss the energy, you miss playing with your kids. Like find some emotion in that and put a positive twist on it, because you don't want to be like this negative, oh, I'm so pissed off, I don't have my Thrive, I hate life. You want to put like a positive spin on it, you know.
Honestly, I feel like that's a little more relatable. Like if you talk about not having it and you talk about how tired you are and how exhausted all this, someone else is going to be like, damn, me too. And then the next time you do have your Thrive and you start talking about it, someone's going to be like, that same person is going to be like, okay, I need to see what that is, because just last week she was a miserable mess and now look at her. She's doing jumping jacks at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, like share that with people, share your story. And not having a customer right now, it can be discouraging. I haven't signed a customer in probably a month and a half, to be honest. But I don't let that stop me, because I'm planting seeds every single day. And when they harvest, it's in God's timing. You have to be confident and have faith in what you're doing. And that does take time. That takes self-development. That takes working on your brain, you know, doing affirmations, whatever it is that you need to work on to get your mind better. You know, it will come in time, because in order to sign customers, you got to know the products a little bit more. You got to get comfortable with talking about it. That's why we want you guys talking to people and putting us in 3-way chats, putting us in opportunity Zooms, so you can hear how we talk to them. You can hear how we respond, and then you will have a better idea. Like if we don't, you know, some girls send me screenshots, whatever it is that you want to do, send screenshots, put us in 3-way chats, you know, have us do an opportunity Zoom, whatever it is that, you know, is better for you. Let us help you with that, because without that, you will never see how we respond to these objections. You'll never see how we can turn a girl that was with another company and cold messaged us into a potential promoter. Like you'll never ever see that if you don't say, hey, I'm talking to this person. It's going like this. How can I, bring the business up, or how can I bring the product up? How should I word this? How should I talk to them this way? So like, that's what I want you guys concentrating on, because I feel like you're all because you guys get a lot of potentials. I know a lot of you have come into my box and been like, hey, I'm talking to like 5 people today, or hey, but something's going on with that part and the closing the deal. So I feel like we really need to concentrate on the conversations, how we're talking, the way we're wording it, and get y'all more comfortable and confident. Every single body on this team can use a confidence booster like no other. Confidence comes in time, but you can force it to a point. Like, there's been times where like I was doing the whole like, well, I know it's kind of expensive, but it's $150 and like it's really good. You got to come out of that. You got to come in there and just be like, you know what? You're going to get these products for a month. They're $150. You'll thank me later. Like, you just have to go in there with the confidence, and people change their tune so quick when they realize that, oh my gosh, she's so confident. Like, she didn't even ask me if I wanted to pay 150. She was just like, you're going to do this whether you like it or not. You're not different. You're not difficult, Lacey. We love you. We were all at this point at one point or at a time,
What I want to say, and I got this from a girl that I watch on YouTube. If you don't feel confident or you don't feel worthy, I think all of y'all are better than us. I think all of y'all have stories that can move mountains. So even if, I don't want you to fake it till you make it, but what I want you to do is borrow the confidence that I have in you. Borrow the confidence that Felicia has in you. Because if you feel like you're not worthy, and I know it's really hard to not get trapped in your own head, but if you try to see what someone else sees in you, it makes that journey just a little bit easier. It helps you become more comfortable and being confident. Because at the end of the day, we all have confidence. It's just down to whether you're comfortable sharing that confidence with the world or not.
Yeah, and like, if you you and Christine should talk and like figure out like what kind of leader you need us to be, like what works for you. Like for me, I need that, those affirmations. Like, I need somebody to tell me and be like, you know what, that post was really good. You're like really kicking ass this month. If that's something you need, let us know. I will be your biggest cheerleader and tell you you're gorgeous every day and that you're a badass. But like, that kind of stuff like pumps me up. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm doing good. I got this. Let me go. And then like, your confidence is just there, and you can't help but be excited and pumped and like, have a big head. Christine builds my head up all the freaking time. Katie does, Amy does, like, because that's what I need from them. So we just need to figure out like what you need from us so that we can help you get to that point where we know you can be. Because even before I didn't know anything about you at all, I messaged Christine and was like, I'm obsessed with Lacey. Like, she's fucking awesome and she's going to go places. And I feel that way about all of you girls. You guys just need to find that confidence and figure out who you're going to be, what you want to stand for, share it with the world, and just do your damn thing. If there's one thing I can tell you, is just to be yourself. That is what I'm known for on this team. Like, I am unlike anybody. I don't give a shit. I do my own thing. I go live about laundry all the time, about my kids, about whatever. Like, it just doesn't even matter. I don't care. I am who I am. I cuss like a sailor. I scream at my dogs. I yell at my kids. Like, my kid, everybody on Facebook knows my oldest walks around with no fucking shirt on all the time. I get messages from people that are like, does your kid even own a shirt? And I'm like, yes. Like, just be who you are. Embrace your weirdness, your quirkiness, and run with it. Don't try to put yourself in this box. Like, sometimes I think like, well, our Zooms aren't run like, Em and Lindsay Zooms. Like, they're all over the place, and you guys ask us questions. And like, but this is us. Like, this is how we work. And you just have to learn to love yourself and figure out who you are and share that with the world. And I promise you, everybody has their own journey, but somebody is watching you. Somebody can relate to you. Somebody can relate to Christine, and then somebody different will relate to me, and somebody different will relate to you. Like, we are all our own people, and you're going to attract the people that you can relate to. So don't try to fit in this little box of, well, I haven't ranked yet and I haven't done that. It took me 5 months to rank. Some people were going in 2 weeks. How the hell, Chloe goes to 80K in a fucking month or whatever she did. Like, just don't be obsessed with this destination. Like, fall in love with the journey, because every day I get excited over little things where I'm like, oh my gosh, this book has really opened my eyes to this. Or, I've gotten better at posting, or I'm really up in my game with my stories. Like, you constantly have to be willing to fall in love with the journey and fall in love with yourself through that journey. Because I'm not the same person I was 10 months ago, and I'm not going to be the same person I am today 6 months from now. So, like, just open your mind and just fall in love with it. And what'd you say? Yeah, just be you, Lacey. Just fall in love with yourself every day and just keep doing it. I promise you, if you stay consistent and you continue to, like, open your mind, reach out to us. If Christine's at work, reach out to me. I can help you with conversations. I can help you with mindset. I still have my group open where I did the Mastering Mindset course. If you want me to add you to that, I'd be more than willing to do that. If you shoot me your email, I can even send you my book that you can read, that'll help with your mindset. But just, like, if you need help, even like I say to all my girls, if you need help, whether it's about the business or it's your personal life, that's what we're here for. Obviously we don't want to sit here and bitch, moan, and groan for 6 hours about how our dog peed on the floor. But, like, if you're going through something in your life and you just need to vent, like, you need to do that, because that's going to, in the end, affect your business. There's days where I'll call Christine and I'm pissed off at Brian, or my dogs are, like, just pissing and shitting everywhere, and I'm irritated, and I bitch for like 15 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, so how are we going to get me in a better mood so I can make this bomb ass post that I was wanting to an hour ago? So that's what we're here for. And we want to help you guys get over those hurdles so that you can be the boss babes that you are, that we know you are. We saw it the moment we signed you, So I love you. I just went on a rant.
One last thing I want to touch on, and then I feel like I've got mine out for the night. This is supposed to be easy, and it is super easy. Like, our compensation plan was built for a chimpanzee, but there is strategy behind it. And that's why we want you in our inboxes, so that we can help you figure out what your specific strategy is, because there's not one set strategy. It's very personal. And two Zooms that really fired me and Felicia up, and we were just like, all right, let's fucking go, was, if you go to YouTube, M's channel is Emma Hastings. I want you guys to watch, and I guess this could be like my little weekly challenge that I usually give you guys on training. I want you to go to M's YouTube, and I want you to watch the one that she did with Courtney Glasser. I think it's called, like, Sideline Sisters or something like that. I want you to watch that one, and then I want you to watch the most recent one that she just did with Dustin. I don't care if you guys have already seen it before, because I've already watched both of them like 3 times. I want you to rewatch them again, and then at some point this week, when you're able to watch them, I'm not saying you have to watch them tonight, but when you rewatch them, I want you to message me or Felicia and tell us what's the one thing that stood out from Courtney's Zoom, and what's one thing that stood out to you from Dustin's Zoom. And that way we can kind of figure out where you're at mentally, what you're wanting to work towards, and how you're going to run and how you're going to work your strategy. So I want y'all to do that, and then that's all I have.
Yay. Yeah, just be your own self. Like Nicole said, she was trying to like hold back and stuff. And I kind of know a little bit about Nicole's journey. Somebody was trying to place her in this little box, and I was like, fuck that, be yourself. Like, you are gorgeous. Do your damn thing. This whole like, you shouldn't cuss if you're in this profession, or like this. I've had like several people come to me about this. Be who you are. You don't want to like, you don't want to act all churchy, and then like somebody gets to know you really well and you're in a voice message and then you start cussing and they're like, whoa, who is this person? Like, be yourself. People know. You will hear the F word, you will hear the S, you will hear every cuss word in the book on my lives. I don't cuss all the time, but like, there's a chance I might say, dogs, get the fuck out of the kitchen. I'm trying to do a live. Like, that's just possibly gonna happen. But that's who I am. If you don't like it, I don't want you on my team or a customer anyway. So I'm good. But you're gonna love me because I have heart and I have passion and I'm true to myself, and I'm what you get. Like, that's it. So be yourself. Y'all are amazing. This is like the longest Zoom I think we've ever done, but it's the first of the month and we're so excited to see like what everybody's going to do. And I want you guys talking to people, bringing us potentials, doing these opportunity events is going to be huge, I think, for this team. Just talk to people, build those relationships, plant those seeds, because it's going to be amazing. Like Em said, there's only 90 days left in the year. So what you going to do in 90 days really is going to matter. So let's start building those consistencies, those relationships, and just doing the damn thing. I want to see everybody at least at 4K by the end of the year. Everybody. So I love you guys. I'm going to go to bed because it's way past my bedtime. But remember, our inbox is always open. So I love you guys. Good night.
Bye.